This is the advanced tutorial for Mark's Spreadsheet version 23.2 and newer. Mark's Spreadsheet is a sophisticated Microsoft Excel spreadsheet designed to help Canadians plan their retirements. This tutorial assumes you have watched the introductory tutorial video and are familiar with its concepts. Sometimes your financial situation will differ from the default spreadsheet behavior. Let me give an example. When you enter your salary in the data entry worksheet, the spreadsheet increases your salary annually by inflation until you retire. If you do not expect a raise greater than inflation, or plan to work part-time past retirement, you can use the advanced data worksheets to override the spreadsheet. The advanced data worksheets are 1 Advanced, 2 Advanced, and Shared Advanced. 1 Advanced and 2 Advanced contain information specific to Person 1 and Person 2 respectively. Shared Advanced contains information shared between spouses, or, for a single person, information that would be shared if you were married. Let's take a closer look at the 1 Advanced worksheet. You will see white cells, yellow cells, and gray cells. White cells mean the spreadsheet needs you to enter a value for each applicable year. Gray cells mean that the spreadsheet will calculate a value unless you override it. Yellow cells are locked and indicate that the value is entered on another worksheet. Hover over any of the titles to see a description of that column. Look at the employee salary and deductions fields. The first row is yellow because these values are entered in the data entry worksheet. The spreadsheet takes current year values and indexes them for inflation for future years until retirement. Enter values in the gray cells if you want to override this behavior. The spreadsheet will take any new value you enter and index it until retirement. Or if you are past retirement, for example doing part-time work, and you enter a salary, it will continue indexing that salary until you enter 0. The spreadsheet uses the RRSP and LIF contribution and withdrawal strategies and the suggested amounts you provide in the dashboard to calculate your contributions and withdrawals to and from these accounts. You can view these amounts on the 1 and 2 worksheets. Enter a value anywhere you expect a future withdrawal to be different than what the spreadsheet calculates. The spreadsheet will take your value as entered, ignoring any minimum and maximum limits for that year. Future years will revert to the spreadsheet's values unless you override them also. The other income, not from employment, pensions, or accounts section, gives you an opportunity to record income from privately held investments. Because the cells are white, a value must be entered whenever there is applicable income. The spreadsheet does not calculate future values. Enter the income based on how it is taxed. Examples of other income are rental income, income from a partnership, honoraria, and interest received from personal loans. This income is taxed at your full rate. Capital gains occur when you sell something for more than it is worth. Include gains on the sale of property other than your principal residence, and gains on privately held investments. Eligible and ineligible dividends come from privately held shares in companies. Finally, non-taxable income is income that is not subject to tax. Examples include gifts and inheritances. Again, include this income for all years where it applies. Other assets, excluding your principal residence, are for any assets beyond your principal residence that you would like included in your net worth and net estate value calculations. Many people choose not to include the value of depreciating assets, such as cars and RVs, in their net worth and net estate value calculations. For assets that increase in value, such as a cottage or rental property, include the adjusted cost base, ACB, so tax can be calculated. We have already seen life insurance in the data entry worksheet. If the death benefit and/or cash values of your policy change over time, enter the values here. The spreadsheet uses the values from the data entry worksheet unless you override them. Other liabilities excluding your mortgage is for any other personal loans you may have. Enter the amount of loan and any payments. Payments are annual amounts. You can also include cash gifts to others, for example, a gift to your children, in the payments column. Because the cells are white, you must enter values for all years where they apply. The 2 Advanced Worksheet is identical to the 1 Advanced Worksheet. Enter values for your spouse in that worksheet. The Shared Advanced Worksheet is used for items that are shared between spouses, or if you are single, items that would be shared if you were married. The Budget column allows you to override the spreadsheet's future budget calculations. By default, the spreadsheet takes the value you entered on the dashboard and increases it by inflation for every subsequent year. That's why you cannot enter a value for the first year of your budget. To override this value for a future year, simply enter a different budget amount in one of the gray cells. The spreadsheet will use this value for the year you entered and then increase it by inflation for subsequent years. The Charitable Donations column lets you override your charitable donations for any given year. The spreadsheet always uses the percentage of budget you enter in the dashboard unless you override it with a dollar value here. Joint life insurance works similarly to individual life insurance. Typically, joint life insurance pays out when the first spouse passes away, called a first-to-die policy. But there are also policies that pay out when the last spouse passes away, called a last-to-die policy. If your death benefit and cash value of your policy changes over time, enter future values here. Finally, the spreadsheet allows you to override the general inflation rate and the inflation rate applied to real estate. Enter percentages in any year when you want them to be different than the inflation rate you specify on the dashboard. This ends the advanced video tutorial. Be sure to visit our website for more information and subscribe to our mailing list to be notified of new developments with Mark's Spreadsheet.